for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. It is Friday, so that means my friend is here, Sean Belize. Hi, friend.
I'm looking forward to watching football again this weekend. I am. It took me a few days. Neil, I told you, and I told everyone, I was a big baby last Sunday. I just didn't want to watch. That was my healing mechanism. And now I'm at the point, Neil, where I feel like I'm almost ready to make a Lifetime movie. I am. These dreams weren't dashed. They were just deferred. They were delayed. And that's the way I feel right now.
Are you going to set your husband's bed on fire next?
I might do that. Okay. My nanny's secret lover or something like that.
Okay.
It might be something like that. But no, honestly, I'm looking forward to championship weekend. As Neil, you and I have talked about many years, this is...
It's the best Sunday of the NFL season.
It's literally the last Sunday of the year, as far as I'm concerned, where it's all about football.
Correct.
Because the Super Bowl is everything but, seemingly. So this is all about football, so I'm looking forward to it.
No, absolutely. I am too. As we said, Nickel Package Friday, Bourbon Friday as well. Shout out to the fine folks at Varchaz. What are we on today? We are on the Straight Bourbon Whiskey Finished and Sherry Wine Cast. There's a limited edition from Varchaz. And... depending on how the show goes, we might get into the rye whiskey and the port wine cast. We'll see. We'll see.
I know a rye guy.
We might get there. Chase in the building for KG. Chase, what up?
Hey, how's it going? Good morning, guys.
Nice to see you, Chase.
Yeah, absolutely. Spencer Raxter.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Nothing. Just chilling.
Just chilling?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Good win for the Wings last night.
Good win
Sorry,
for the
Sean.
Wings. Yep,
It's
we're
all right.
going to talk about it. We have a Red Wings nickel package crafted up, but that was a nice win. You were in the building. Tammy Chin in the chat, by the way. Hey, Sean, please tell Habs, man, if you happen to talk to him, maybe next time.
He was a little disappointed last night. No doubt about that. That first period was...
A blitzkrieg.
It really was. And it is, for broken records like me, I always sit back and say the same thing. It is amazing what can happen when the puck is on your stick. Another team can't activate their speed. Another team can't skate around you. It's amazing to me. That was a really good first period. A first period that they had to have. They were due. There's no doubt about that. And I think the flip side to that is I think the Habs were due for a stinker like that as well. They had been...
And the Wings had to have it. And they played as such.
And it's, we're going to have this in the nickel package as well. You guys hit me up while I was at the game last night, and I put one together at the very end of the game. Look at this schedule coming up before the Four Nations. This is a brutal stretch. It really is. More on that in a little bit. But they did what they had to do last night, and a lot of good came out of that win. Make no mistake about it.
No, absolutely. So, yeah, we're going to get into it, and it was a very, very good first period. That second goal, that was a textbook, Sean, display of, you know how people say you can't win the game in the first period? No, you can win the game in the first period. That second goal right before the end, that was it. Like that, the Habs, they're down 2, eventually got down 3, and that was pretty much it, man.
It reminded me a little bit, Neil, of something that I know you talked a lot about, and it's getting those scores before half. Getting those scores
changes everything.
It really did. That changed the complexity of a lot of things because I don't know if you're Montreal and it's only 1-0 after that first.
You're
period,
happy with that.
You're going, okay, cool. Now it's my turn.
Right.
Now we're gonna use our strength, our speed, something that gave you fits. Just a month ago, both in Detroit and in Montreal. So now we're going to activate that, and good luck. You better hold on to your seats. That was huge. It really was. You cannot put a price tag on how big that goal was.
No, absolutely it was, and that was a wrap. It turned out that was the wrap. So, we're going to get to that, obviously, because the Canadians showed their force in the third period. I thought they just couldn't break through.
Yeah.
So good for the Red Wings. Not so good for Habs, man.
Shout out to Johnny Burgers.
This is the kind of stuff that we've talked about for a while. I mean, this is going to be fun down the stretch. This is the NHL's version of selling hope, because I think you have a few teams that have taken a step up with a lot of young players, and this should be a really fun stretch when we get back from the Four Nations, and more on that in a second too.
You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
I can't wait.
This drips of hockey elite. The quote Four Nations.
I can't.
This sounds like a CONCACAF thing.
You'll
a soccer
know,
thing.
Well, you'll know what it is when I say it, like when I explain it to you. Basically, this is the first. Do you want me to save it? I'll save it, or do you want me to do it now?
Go for it.
Okay, so
tell me.
The Four Nations. This is the first best versus best in forever in the hockey world. The first best versus best, because they haven't had any Canada Cups, they haven't had any World Cup of hockey, there haven't been pros going to the Olympics. Okay, so we're taking this break,
which is crushing to me. Real quick to cut you off, the Olympics thing was dumb. I loved Olympic hockey.
It is absolute stupidity by the International Ice Hockey Federation and the NHL to not have a best versus the best. You are talking about unbelievable players that have never played on that stage yet.
Right.
Connor McDavid hasn't done it.
That's insane.
Done it.
That's insane. And they're on the international ice, which is my thing. More on that
and
later.
by the way, I want to say this, and I don't know how anybody could take it should be 5 nations. I wish Russia was playing. It's not the players' fault that they have a madman as their leader. I think it's a shame that we're not getting the true best of the best, but now I'm going to get off my soapbox. But with that being said, to do this in the middle of the season as opposed to having the traditional all-star stupidity, and that's all it is, the all-star stupidity, to have that in the middle of the tournament, a best of the best, I can't wait. Honest to God, as a hockey fan, and I know a lot of hockey fans out there kind of feel the same way, there's just a different vibe when you have your country's crest across your jersey. There is. Yeah. There's no other way to say it.
Are they playing international ice?
No, they're going to be playing, they're going to have games in Montreal, they're going to have games in Toronto, they're going to have Boston, and it's Sweden, Finland, USA, Canada. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
Give me the international ice, Sean. That's all I've ever wanted for the NHL.
The sheet?
Yes.
I think it'd be fun, especially the way the game is called and played today. You give guys an extra few feet. There's such a huge difference, especially when you're in the corners. People don't understand.
Is ASP going to be on the roster for Sweden?
Who's that?
You think ASP will make the cut for Sweden?
No.
No.
Mike G in the chat.
I wanted to see him with Raymond so bad.
Mike G in the chat. Johnny Burgers with the goal. You said shout out Johnny Burgers. We had a sighting.
I love the kid. That's all he does. That's all he does. When he's up here, he scores goals. So keep him up here. He's been playing well.
All right. I did want to highlight this just real quick. Something cool happened at my alma mater, by the way. I went to Fraser High School. They had a pretty big thing happen for their basketball team. Senior guard Sam Zanin scored 45 points on Tuesday night. They beat Lance Cruz. It broke the Fraser High School scoring record of Ron Bird, who had 43 points in 1968. So just wanted to shout out Sam Zanin. He went in there. He was getting buckets. And as we said, scored 45 points, broke the school record. That's very cool. So shout out to Sam.
Tough
Good stuff,
leg.
man. Yeah, absolutely. That's the same court I used to knock down those baseline jump shots in.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Sam, man. Good work, brother. And thanks for Coach Norgrove for sending over the footage. So just wanted to shout him out. That's cool. That's a memory for that he'll have for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very cool. Big Con 51. If it's Chiefs Eagles, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. Big Con, don't lie. All right, you know what? You can lie to me. I got broad shoulders. I can take it. But don't lie to yourself. You're going to watch the Super Bowl no matter who plays. Sean's already come back around, but we're definitely going to get in to it. Copacetic Sushi. Where the hell is Fraser? East Side or Rider. 15 miles. Stand up. About 25 minutes that way. So that's what it was.
We used to play Fraser.
Yeah. 100%. There's been some NFL coaching news. Pete Carroll reportedly has agreed to become the Raiders coach. Your thoughts? I love Pete Carroll.
Pete is, as long as you accept what Pete is,
A 70-year-old lesbian?
I think that's
That's aggressive. Is that Spike or is that
Does he
Spenny?
not look like Oh, what's her name? The actress. Oh, I gotta find it. Let me find it.
Are you gonna say Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, he looks like Jamie Lee
I
Curtis.
don't know if she's a lesbian.
No, but
It was great when he killed Michael Myers a couple of years
Yeah.
ago in Halloween Ends.
Pete Carroll definitely looks like a lesbian.
Once you accept what Pete Carroll is, and guys love him, you got it. Like he is the poster child for the players coach. But yeah, that's wow. You're hiring 72, right? 72.
It's aggressive. I feel like it's aggressive.
Good for you. Good for him.
Who's going to be the quarterback?
Well, that's the biggest.
Aiden O'Connell. Look
Exactly.
out. I mean, fuck, all respect to Aiden O'Connell. He haunts my dreams still.
If Pete Carroll
I took my dad to that game.
if Pete Carroll gets the Raiders to the playoffs, come on, man.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
an elite coach.
Jim Harbaugh's probably pissed.
Yeah, him and Jim Harbaugh are two of the most elite coaches the game has ever seen at all levels.
Obviously, I'm going to be intrigued to see if they take a step up. You want to talk about a disastrous roster, though, and that's why I think a lot of us keep hopes alive that maybe Max Crosby can come here. That is a mess. The Raiders are an absolute mess. So good luck to Pete. I was just really taken aback at that one. I don't know why. I didn't.
It kind of came out of left field a little bit. There's always one, right?
Yeah,
every coaching hiring cycle, there's always one that kind of comes out of left field. So that one was out there as well. Lions made a move. We're going to talk about that coming up in just a couple of minutes. How about this thing too? Liam Cohen, who was the Buccaneers' offensive coordinator,
Oh, man, this is wild.
had agreed to a deal with Tampa to become the highest paid offensive coordinator in the game. Verbally. Said, yeah, man, let's do it. The Jags call him back and make one last-ditch effort to pay him Ben Johnson money. 13 at a floor, $13 million per year. I don't know the length of the duration, the term of the contract. And he's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's tough. But this, Sean, the reason I bring that story up, for those that think that this stuff is linear, like Ben Johnson, like the Ben Johnson deal, well, why do you do it now? Why do you talk to him now? That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
You got it.
It's not your union job. It's not moving up the ranks at Walmart or Amazon. This is the way the real world works, everyone. It's high stakes. It's big money. It's here today. It's gone tomorrow. That's the way that it works. That is the example, everyone. The Jags came back, threw up the Hail Mary, said it's now or never. We got to go get our guy. And they went and got their guy.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Because he pulled his name out of the running.
Yes.
And then they fired
Until
their
he didn't.
GM. And he had already verbally agreed to come back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
At the highest coordinator salary in the league.
And then he ghosted him. Then he ghosted him, and he went to Jacksonville and took that job.
Yeah, and
Scummy.
the reason why he didn't want it was the GM.
Yep.
And then they said, and that when he went and said that, I'm out. And Jackson was like, damn, we got to cook this guy to get somebody. So they cooked that guy, and there he is. Guys, I'm telling you, though, this is how volatile it is. You think that it's like you have this standing offer, and I'll get back to you in 72 hours once I consider it. No, that's not the way that talent-based stuff works, guys. It's just not. So, again, I bring that up to tell everyone that's how it works.
Could the Jags be interested in Ray Agnew as their next GM? Get the Lions a couple more compensatory picks.
I wish KG were here to speak on this right now.
It's true. Chase
You're giving off certain vibes
Chase
right
is
now,
minority.
Spenny.
Yeah, my dad is white. That's why, like, on paper, I slide right under the radar.
There are some cautionary tales though, and I really wonder if more of this is going to happen because, as you said, he took himself out of the running. He was going to Tampa and all that stuff. You really wonder, and maybe we could call it. Oh, I don't know. I'll just pull a name out of my hat. The Monty Williams. I mean, I don't want to coach.
Nope.
I don't want to coach. And this is a guy that's saying, well, I don't want to be here. I want to go to Tampa.
Yeah, I hate your GM situation.
I don't.
I'm out.
And then you give him the money, right? And I'm never.
Well, you fire the GM.
Right. I'm never going to begrudge a guy of that. I mean, that was the funny thing about the Ben Johnson conversation. I thought that got way more complicated than it needed to be. Tip of the cap, Ben. Thanks for the memories here, okay? I'm not going to wish you any luck because you're going to the Bears. I don't have any issue with what you did. Good for you. I hate the Bears. So, like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to dog you. This might be your only shot. I don't know. How many times have we heard the hot name, Neil, that for whatever reason it never really happened? And we've lived with that. Terrell Austin. If you told me in 2014 that he was never going to get he was the hottest name ever in 2014. Well, not ever. That's a little bit of an overstatement. But like that was the biggest thing. It was like, Neil, I use this often because it just seems like critical thinking is dead. Like, honestly, it's really weird.
It takes effort.
Right. Both things can be true. And it's funny, there are some holier than thou media types going, I can't believe you're not wishing Ben Johnson luck.
There are a lot of holier than thou media types.
I couldn't believe it.
Like honestly, get this through your thick skull. I will wish no luck on the Bears ever.
Ever.
I
can't believe it.
Never, ever, ever, ever. Okay? It's not. My son could be the coach of the Bears.
I don't care if my grandmother was the Bears coach.
Hey, Jack, when you get fired, at least you have a lot of money. It's the Bears. Like, it was really, really odd. That was a weird 24 hours. And Neil, I thought you did a good job of putting, like, he deserves that. If that's where he wants to go, and that's what, I will never be a human being that tells you, hey, man, you shouldn't do what you feel is best for you. I'm never going to be that guy. With that being said, there comes a flip side. I am never going to wish anything Bears good luck.
And that's my statement. That is exactly my statement right there.
Ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. I don't hate you.
Osama Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, Spenny does. See, like, we all get off the highway at different exits.
He's
here.
dead to me.
I get off. I think Sean and I get off at the same, exit. We do. We exit the highway at that point. Spenny stays on the highway. He's in the left-hand hammer lane. He's going 94.
I get off on the conspiracy theories of him throwing the game. That's where I get off. I don't think he threw the game.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
But there are people that stay on the freeway past that.
Yeah.
They're going all the way.
Yeah, I don't think Ben Johnson intentionally lost that game, but he's still a terrorist.
All right, fair. Real quick, man, we're already behind.
Yep.
I knew it.
Stunner.
Burn in the super chat. By the way, if you want to skip the line in the chat, throw your thoughts out there. We'll get to them. Burn in the super chat. I'm still upset we can't get a comp pick for Ben Johnson having autism. We all saw that awkward press conference. Burn, that's aggressive.
It is it's a minority of the population.
That's aggressive. I think this is a good place to break.
Let me tell you about Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Delicious, locally roasted specialty coffee dropped off right at your doorstep. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order, SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Again, code word Woodward will get you 25% off. And remember, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Michigan-based company, so support local. SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Neil Rule here for Woodward Merch. We're doing Detroit sports wearables better than anyone. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. All new revamped lineup. All new Detroit football merch as well. And you can get all of it. We got the Dan Campbell kneecap speech on a t-shirt. Pretty elite, by the way. So, hey, if you're stoked not scared, that one's still out there, by the way. Circle the wagons, everybody. Shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy here on a bourbon/nickel package Friday. Rob Coddington in the chat. Happy Bourbon Friday. Shout out, Rob, by the way. He's with Varchaz. They sent over the care package.
Shout out?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
big
big
time.
shout out.
Yeah.
This is good. I like
It only
this.
gets better, Sean.
That's good. Ooh.
It only gets better from here. They watch the show over there. Like on the screens. I was over there. Like they're like putting the labels on the bottles. Like it's a small business, but they're doing it.
It
and
might
they
be
watch
a
the show.
long afternoon is what I might be hanging out here. You might see me on Ermanni and Edwards this afternoon. This is good.
Maybe.
And happy birthday to Daniela Bruce.
Yeah, that's
Shout out
right.
Daniela.
Shout out Daniela, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. Doing big things in the media
Yes.
also, too. Real quick, too, in the super chat, by the way, you can jump the line, Dante151. Ohio State running back Quinshon Judkins has declared for the NFL draft. Where could you see him going? I don't know why, but I could see him going to the Chargers. Well, he fits the mold, right?
I like Judkins a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I like everybody
He's
at
a
Ohio
good
State.
back.
They're always good players.
Yeah,
Always. National champions, by the way.
he's a good back.
Yep. So yeah, that's what it is. Tabitha Gable, I'm excited about our new defensive line coach. Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of people are. And, you look at it, Casey Rogers and Spenny's really hype about it, Sean. And, it fits, right? I mean, we could say it like that. Like, it fits.
You know what's funny? I've seen a lot of this the past week, and it's really strange. And I don't know how much you guys have heard of it, because I haven't been with you guys since Monday. But in my opinion, it's almost like people in their frustration, in their hurt over what happened last weekend. Did we forget that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are at the wheel?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Completely forgot about it.
Like, honest, I'm not being funny. It's like if we're gonna give all these flowers out, okay? And it was one of those things where somebody said to me, "Well, Brad didn't exactly have the best 2024 draft." And you know what I always say with good, bad, or indifferent, let's judge a draft in 2 years. Even if a guy lights it up, much to the chagrin of people out there that are ready to put these guys in the Hall of Fame, I always say, can we pump the brakes a little bit? Let's look at where this is in 2 years, okay? Because I've seen it work every way, shape, and form. And I can't tell you, Neil, how many times. I remember doing shows with you in August where it was about 75 degrees hotter than it is right now, okay? Right. And it was like, do you trust Brad Holmes?
100%.
Cool. My work here is done. I honestly, I feel that way. I feel the way that he has worked this roster, and I think he spoke about it so much better than I could. And this goes back to dreams were delayed. They were not deferred. They were not dismissed. Okay? These guys have meticulously built this roster to a point, Neil, where they know this window isn't this, okay? This window is this. This isn't Lion teams gone by. This is a lot of guys that are still going to continue up. And that's the way I look at it. And it may sound simplistic, and that's my long-winded way of answering your question, Neil, but okay, were Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes behind this move? Yeah, they gave the thumbs up. Obviously, I heard them. Okay, cool. Right,
and they've earned that.
Right, that's where we're at. They've earned that.
Well, through the sting of everything that's happened, Sean, through the sting of it all, you have to remember where this franchise was 2 years ago.
You got
2 years ago at the beginning of the season. 2 seasons ago. Remember, I mean, the recovery's been incredible. What they've been able to do through the draft, and that, again, guys, like, I know it still hurts, and I know it still sucks. Like this in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Phil, my faith in team sports is very shaken. I thought the Lions were a team. It seems they are not any different than any other franchise. Phil, I can't help you.
What does that even mean?
Like they're just the regular old Lions, I guess. I don't know. Like, but there are still people among us that are like that, Sean.
You know what? Sometimes we have to remind ourselves in sports as well that sometimes there are extenuating circumstances. This was a catastrophic amount of injuries. Am I blaming the loss strictly on injuries? No, I'm not. Okay, just for anybody out there that says, I can't have the guys on Woodward blaming on injuries. It was part of it. You can't tell me that it wasn't. It was catastrophic. We saw all those memes and figures during the course of the season where you saw where the Lions' injuries were and where other teams were. So, Neil, this is a situation to me where you put it all in a mixing bowl and you're not exactly giving yourself the best chance to win football games, especially against a good football team like Washington. You can get past a cute little Minnesota, but you know what? When you face a legitimate quarterback...
I'm sorry, dude, that's never not funny. One more time, Sean.
That's what they are. I mean, they know it. That's what bothers them the most. And that's why we get so much of their crap, Neil, is they know it. Minnesota fans, you know it, okay? Sam Darnold. Oh, did I do it again? Sam Darnold, Sam Bradford, whatever his name is, or Jaden Daniels. Who you like in the National Football League, right? So, Neil, because of that, I feel you. Who is the poster? I feel you. It hurts. Brad Holmes. Like, honestly, look at the track record. Hasn't he built up enough credit that once you take emotion out of the equation, and that's difficult. It was difficult for me. I couldn't do it last Sunday. I was incapable. I am not joking. I didn't watch a second of the NFL last weekend. Mock me, make fun of me. That was my healing mechanism. But once you take that step back and take emotion out of it, Brad Holmes, how you feeling? Well, I feel pretty good, Neil.
So you move on. And, like, we all handled it differently. I had to hate watch Stafford. Like, that's what I had to do because I'm petty. You're not petty. I am petty.
Hey, watch Stafford.
Hey, Sean, like, that's...
I'm not dogging you.
We're all built different. That's the way I'm built. I'm built on pettiness. I'm built on pettiness, vindictiveness, hatred.
Bourbon.
And what?
And bourbon.
And bourbon. On Bourbon Friday, yeah. We may have to switch it up to the rye whiskey. But anyway, with that being said, same concept. So
yeah, pretty
it's
much.
not any different. Woodward Sports chat thread, the super chat, burn with the yellow chat. People didn't forget Brad and Dan. They said this is their last chance. They are on the hot seat, like Chuck Daly in 86 or Sparky in 83. Those bums. Obviously, nothing happened after those letdowns. And Burn, thank you for that, because I talked about this. The real ones will remember, and a lot of you, we have like a core audience here. And Sean, you and I did these shows, and I said they may not win. There will probably be more pain before there is pleasure. Remember that. I said that because that's the way this tends to go. Every now and then you get a team like the Giants that just pop up, cash it in, and that's it. And then teams just pop up, cash. It's rare though. It's rare when that happens. For most franchises that are good, there's pain. There's pain. Even the Chiefs have lost a Super Bowl. There's pain through it all, Sean.
Do you know what I had to remind myself? And this helped me this week, honestly. And Neil, I think you hit the nail on top of the head. We're all different, so I'm not going to crap on a guy like Phil. And all I can do is just try to throw some common sense in there. Hey, Neil, point blank, and you guys know this, I didn't even think the Lions were going to win the Super Bowl this year. I felt all year. I talked about it in August. I talked about it all through the year. I'm convinced that the script is written and Kansas City is the Super Bowl champion. I'm convinced, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I am convinced. The National Football League is very desirous of having the first three-time Super Bowl champions, 3-in-a-row Super Bowl champions, and then they're going to go full Jerry West and just put Patrick Mahomes' dumb face behind the NFL logo. But
I love that word, desirous.
I need Josh Allen.
Oh boy,
we're going to talk about that later in the nickel package.
Josh Allen.
Super chat. Let me clean up the super chats here, and we'll get the nickel package going. GW the Kid with the super chat. My day off. West Coast whiskey neat drinking with you guys. Cheers. And Brad,
cheers,
I trust,
bro.
regardless of Phil.
8:30 a.m. on the West Coast.
Hey,
My man.
Get how you
Get
live,
how you
I'm
brother.
gonna wake my kid up and say, "Start drinking, boy."
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
get
not
it.
going to, usually when I'm on Pacific time, there tends to be a commonality to the trajectory of the days for me, i.e. Las Vegas, things like that. What else do we have? Dante 151 in the super chat. Why are we becoming pansies now? The Lions lost, so what? Same Lions team that had back-to-back double-digit winning seasons. Come on now. And Dante, I'm with you, but that's.
I needed my healing time, though. I think a lot of people
we all did.
I needed
the
my
hate
healing
watch
time.
thing for me was my
Yeah.
healing.
I think we needed our now again. I think it's so important. Just take emotion out of it. Honestly, I was emotional. I was so emotional I didn't watch the games last weekend.
Yeah.
I really and truly, that is not. It's not a bit. I'm not trying to be funny. I did not watch a second of either of those games on Sunday. But once I got into Monday, maybe Tuesday, I was still pretty emotional on Monday. Tuesday, it was a situation, Neil, where it was like, all right, now I have to take emotion out of this and look at this like a logical human being. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Cool.
All right, 3 texts. We go to the break. Number 1, Jay Sanders. Dan Orlovsky greater than Jared Goff. That's stupid.
He's trolling.
You're flat out stupid. Stick Radio. Bo Jackson should be the logo. And Benz Johnson. Good to see Benz Johnson.
That's pretty nice.
Taken in the show. Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. I agree. Planet Fitness, everyone. We're live at the Planet I got it right first time that time. We are live from the Planet Fitness studios. Got my work in this morning as a matter of fact, and you can do it with Planet Fitness because there's over 50 Metro Detroit locations. Shout out the West Maple Road location here in Troy. And guys, look. They got everything you need. Tons of weights, tons of cardio equipment, 30-minute circuits, all of it. Some of you are paying $70 or $80 or $90 a month for a gym membership. I'll never understand it. I don't get it. I won't get it. The weights weigh the same. The weights weigh the same at Planet Fitness. Guys, do the smart thing. $24.99 a month, black card option. You can go anywhere in Planet Fitness, do anything you want at your local Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com, pull in the parking lot, join there. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Tequila is the official tequila of the Detroit Lions. You see they got the cool black jersey themed bottles right there. You can find them in stores near you. 1800 Tequila, the smoothest tasted tequila, so please drink responsibly.
All right, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean back here on a Nickel Package Friday. Shane Daniel in the Super Chat. Jump into there. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. To be honest, we feel on the same level of respect as the Ravens. The difference is we haven't peaked yet, and our future is bright. In Brad and Dan, we trust. Shane, that's it.
I love that.
I love that too. And Sean, that's been my point about all this. We are on the same highway as the Bills and the Ravens and the Lions. I feel that's pretty much a 3-team exclusive travel party right now.
And
it's all the same.
They're a couple exits ahead of us, so I think because of that, Neil.
But they left earlier.
Yeah, and I can't blame their fans for going, it's never going to happen. I'm not, it's never going to happen
Nor am I.
at all. Now, 2 years from now, to your point,
different
I might
discussion.
sit back and go, holy shit. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Yeah, this is just the first of many.
I'm not worried
The
about
first
it.
of many,
Yeah.
many big moments. You ready, Spenny? Let's do this Lions Nickel Package. Let's kick it off. Nickel Package Friday, Bourbon Friday. To quote Ice Cube, yay, yay.
All right, first question of the Lions Nickel Package. Does it still hurt?
Yes. Yes, it does. And here's how I know it still hurts, Sean. I, like you, we have told everybody that Conference Championship Sunday is the best Sunday of the NFL season. It is, and it has been. Now, look, for us, there's been rules attached to that because we've never felt hurt. We were in it last year, so obviously it was the best day. And the AFC game was on before us. So, like, we didn't feel hurt that day going into it like we do today. But it is still the best Sunday. Far and away. Still the best Sunday of it all. But does it still hurt? Yes. And you know what, guys? Little insider tip for you. It's going to hurt more because when they show Jaden Daniels footage, guess what a lot of that footage is going to be? But you know what you got to do? You got to get your David Goggins on. You got to stand there and look at it. Who's going to carry the boats? Like, that's, Sean, that's how I feel about it.
Who's going to
like,
carry
for
the
me,
logs?
Yeah, I'm going to be just standing there resentful. Quiet but resentful. So, yes, it still hurts, and that's okay, but I'm going to stand there and I'm going to take it.
It's a different hurt now. And do you know, this is going to sound weird. My hurt isn't even next weekend, Neil. It's the thought of doing the time-honored something we've had to do our whole life, and that is wait until next year. It's a dull hurt. It's not that,
and
sharp.
It's new to us.
Yeah, it's a dull hurt right now. The idea of going through mock draft season, of going through the summer, of going, and please don't fall for it again. Don't fall for the hard knock shit. Like, what other lesson do you have to learn in life? Like, stop falling for that, okay? That's the hurt. Does that make sense, Neil?
Yeah.
That's the hurt right now. It's the sigh. I have to do this again.
Shad216, he brings up a good point as well. It hurts so much that this week has been going by slower than usual.
Amen.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Amen.
This has been a long-ass week. Second down.
Will it ever not hurt?
This year, yes. And Tom in the chat says it. Last year hurt way more. I'm over it, moving on. And Tom, I'm with you. After the initial shock of it all, because we didn't expect it, with what happened during the game last year, you knew the 49ers were going to make a run. You knew they were, and you were prepared to deal with it mentally. This was just way out of left field. Will it ever not hurt? Yes, I believe this season will never not hurt. The kicker on that is if we don't, you know, when you said in 2 years from now, I think that last year will fester. If we don't get to the point, last year will be the one we'll be like, oh my God.
If the Lions win the Super Bowl next year, as crazy as it sounds, I think we'll look 1,000% differently at what this year was. I really do.
It'll be part of the Detroit thing, right?
You got it.
The Bad Boys.
You got it.
The Red Wings.
We had to,
we had to do it the Detroit way, right?
The Detroit way.
We can't just show up and win.
No.
That's too easy.
No.
We got to get kicked in the dick a couple times first
and
take it.
To me, Neil, that's what made 04 with the Pistons so different. You know, it was like, okay, I get that they had their hardship, but they weren't beating that team of mercenaries for the Lakers. There's no way they weren't beating that team of mercenaries for the Lakers. So for them to not just beat the Lakers, but effectively end that particular Laker dynasty made it oh so special. I can't envision a scenario where I told you, and everybody has to, this one gutted me more than last year. This was as gutting. Yeah, this one was as gutting as the Eagles in '95, and I'll tell you why. Because I believed legitimately they had a shot to go to the Super Bowl since before the season began. So that's why. 2023 to me was the buildup. Like, well, if we make it to the Super Bowl, that would be great. Expectations usually are the devil. And you know, as Mama said, that was the devil for me.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Art Vandalay. My dick has a lot of dents in it. You may want to get some penicillin. Spenny, you got anything to say for him?
That is fair. That's good advice.
Tabitha Gable, last year was way worse.
No, I disagree. I'm with Sean. This year hurt more.
Alex Decker, promising Tiger season ahead as a buffer. Alex, more on that later. The Astros are going to end up signing Bregman.
Looks like it.
Is it promising?
All right, stop.
All right, next question of the Lions nickel package. Who is the number one free agent that you want them to bring back? I saw the guys that were here last year with expiring deals. Who's the number one guy you want to bring back?
Carlton Davis, right? Like, just in the vacuum of this question, all the other couple, remember, there's only like 3 or 4. Like, it's not like a long list. So I guess by that ilk, Carlton Davis, but at the same point, like, let me know the numbers first.
I don't think there's any other answer. And again, this is where I say you might like this guy, you might like that guy, Z in particular. But at the end of the day, Neil, I think Carlton Davis, and I would love to, as you said, have this. You know what? I want to be here. I think we got something special. If it's too much, then we're going to have to go in a different direction.
It's very, very baseline. It's very, very simple.
Common sense. Again, emotion, you got to put it over there.
No, absolutely. All right.
All right, next question. Expectations for the offense after Ben Johnson.
Why don't you say it the way it's written on the sheet?
Expectations of offense post BJ.
Well, I don't have any concerns after that.
That's fair.
No, all right.
Their mind will be clear.
You got the clarity now.
You got the clarity now. I think the concepts are going to be very, very similar. Like, I don't see a ton changing with what they do. Hey, how hard is it? J-Mo on an end around. To like change the look. Hey, close your eyes, throw it deep to J-Mo. I mean, but hey, in the slot, Amon-Ra St. Brown's open somewhere, right? The concepts, the baseline concepts on what this is built on do not change. They don't.
I don't want to disrespect Ben Johnson because obviously he's been one of the best, and he's earned his job.
Well, you'd be stupid to not to run it back.
Talent still wins. Talent still wins, and I really like what the Lions have here. And for months now, I brought this up, and a lot of times, you're not sitting here talking about the old days. You're talking about things, Neil, that maybe younger people can't understand, that think, well, this is the end or this is the end. Norv Turner left the Dallas Cowboys, and you're never going to believe it. They were still the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
They still had an incredible offense. They went to an NFC championship. They went to a Super Bowl after he left and won it, by the way. So I don't buy that stuff. I'm not going to get wrapped up in it. I think that the talent is incredible. I think heading into next season, that talent is going to be even better because you're going to talk about healthy bodies, not to mention what else they add in the draft. So with that being said, Neil, honestly, both things can be true. Yes, we're going to miss Ben, but why should I think this train's going to be derailed? I don't believe that. Players make a coordinator. A coordinator doesn't make players.
Caleb Daniels with the orange super chat. Do you guys remember? He said Charlie Whitehurst, but I assume he's talking about Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Whitehurst, that's great.
Oh, a.k.a. Clipboard Jesus. No, maybe he is talking about Charlie Whitehurst.
Great.
Do you remember Charlie Whitehurst?
Forever.
Caleb Daniels with the orange super chat. He was Clipboard Jesus. I do remember him, the quarterback. I thought you were talking about Charlie Weiss for a minute there because we were talking about the coordinators. No, Caleb Daniels, respect. We all do. Football remembers.
Wasn't Whitehurst was like at Clemson for 22 years, and then he was a backup for 22 years. An incredible career.
No doubt. All right, fifth down.
Final question of the Detroit Lions nickel package. Is Kelvin Shepard the guy for the DC role?
I'm starting to think he's the parachute for the DC. Robert Salah is going to go to the 49ers, from what it sounds like, to be their DC. Am I the only one that saw that?
No, that's
okay.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's what people are
Well, I saw
reporting.
people in the chat talk about, can you go get Robert Salah? Like, he's going to be with the 49ers.
It's what is being speculated.
Yeah.
Nothing is confirmed yet.
I think he's their, we have this. This is our floor guy. I do think that. It's aggressive, man. It's just, now I will say this. I've sounded pretty dismissive of coordinators when we talked about the offensive coordinator stuff, but I will say this. I tend to think the defensive coordinator role is something where until you've done it before, you know, but you don't know.
No, that's exactly it. You know what? Can I go real simplistic on you, Spenny? You came up with this, right? Mm-hmm. Is Brad Holmes giving a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, fair enough.
That's good with me. Like, honestly, I hate to go simplistic, but okay, cool. I'm in.
That's fair.
Spenny, real quick before we cut out. I want to run this by you. Detroit Arrow says this. Larry Foote is still intriguing. Is he intriguing because he's good, or is he intriguing because he was at Michigan?
I think it's because he's at Michigan. I think if you're gonna promote a guy that hasn't been a defensive coordinator yet, it's gonna be Kelvin Shepard.
In-house. Thank you, Spenny.
Yeah, I think they're looking at Dennis Allen and they're looking at Robert Saleh, and if they can't get either of them, then they'll just promote Kelvin Shepard.
So you're in lockstep with me.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the Larry Foote thing. If it's two guys that have never been coordinators, give me Kelvin Shepard all day, every day.
I
That
agree.
might not be the people's will, the Michigan fans' will, but it's my will.
Yeah, because if you sign Larry Foote and you don't promote Kelvin Shepard, you'll probably lose Kelvin Shepard. So
There you go. All
but
right.
let me
Let's cut to the
tell
break.
you about the Winter Blast.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports welcomes the Winter Blast presented by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort starting Friday, January 31st and goes through February 2nd in downtown Royal Oak. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz will be down there from 2 to 4 on that Friday. Don't miss cool tents, including free ice skating, spectacular ice sculptures, live music in heated tents, marshmallow roasting, food trucks galore, and thrills from a 300-foot zip line. All of the best, and of course, admission is free. For more info, go to winterblast.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule for Soaring Eagle. That's right, Eagle, Casino, and Sports. Football's big game is right around the corner. Make sure you're ready to get the most out of your favorite sports with the best sports book made in Michigan for Michigan. That's right, Soaring Eagle, Casino, and Resort. We've been going there since we were 19, everybody. Let's be real. Don't act like you don't know about Soaring Eagle. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Everybody knows it. Fund your online account with cash. You don't need to link a credit card or a bank account. Get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 and get you 50 free spins while you're at it as well. Visit playeagle.com and download the Eagle Casino and Sports app today. Look for Eagle Casino and Sports on Android and Apple devices as well. Michigan Company, everybody. Fly high with big wins anytime, anywhere. All right, keeping it pushing, Neil Rule, Sean Belizian, Nickel Package Friday, Bourbon Friday, Chase in the building, Spencer Raxter as well. What would you say?
Just a quick Tigers update. The Tigers now currently have 6 players in the MLB Top 100 for prospects, including 3, that being Jackson Jobe, Max Clark, and Kevin McGonigal in the top 25.
Yes.
The
What
guys
about
that
third base? Who's playing third base?
The guys that missed the cut were Jace Young and Hao Yu Lee.
So one of the guys that might have played third base.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Copacetic Sushi in the chat, by the way. Jump into the Woodward Sports chat thread if you want to skip the line.
That's such a great name.
It is a great name. This is not a great take, however.
All right.
Neil and Spenny with the anti-Michigan bias. All right, Copacetic Sushi, then let me lay it down for you right now. Oh, no. Okay. Larry Foote, never been a defensive coordinator, outside the system, not familiar with the organization. Kelvin Shepard, intimately familiar with the personnel, the fundamentals, the play calling tendencies, and just a broad knowledge of the organization. Who's a better candidate? It's got nothing to do with what I think about Michigan or anything like that. It's based in common sense. It's based in fact. I know that Michigan fans don't want to hear that, but I don't care that he just went to Michigan, so therefore he should be the defensive coordinator of a team that's in their Super Bowl window. Which one's rooted in fact? Which one's rooted in bullshit? Which one? Sean, tell me which one.
Listen,
tell me which one.
Sean, tell me. Listen, Neil, all jokes aside, I do not get that once, you get to the NFL.
Doesn't matter.
It means nothing. It means nothing. I don't care if the guy went to Ohio State or Michigan or went to American Samoa. Can you come in and help my team win? Please check one box.
Sure.
Y or N. I don't give a crap. But do you know what I want? I want the most qualified, okay? And again, boy, this is amazing how many times this comes up. Do you trust Brad Holmes? Y or N? Please check one
Sean,
box.
all of that aside, candidate A, candidate B. Candidate A has been in the system. Candidate A has been a coach in the organization. Candidate A intimately familiar with the personnel and the needs of the personnel on defense, going into the draft, going into free agency. Candidate B, an outsider, has never been with the organization, but he played at Michigan. Candidate A, candidate B, Sean.
I'm going to go with candidate A.
That's just for me.
I really am.
If you're hiring somebody, this is, as simple and as logically as I can break it down. If you're going to hire somebody for the defensive coordinator position that doesn't have defensive coordinator experience, it's going to be Kelvin Shepard.
Wasn't Shepard the dude that went off on everybody about Rodrigo?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was the
great
clip.
cut.
Yeah, that was the clip that ran out to me. That again, you guys consider I can't stand. They do a great job. I'm not dismissing the job they do. I can't stand watching Hard Knocks because every year people fall for that. Ooh, look at this. Number one, it's not really a representation of what it's like. And number two, made for television. So they turn it into something that it's really not, and the guys know when the camera's on. But that was one that I took away from that. I thought that speech he made about Rodrigo was fantastic. And again, if the guys love him, if there's familiarity there, and most importantly, if Brad Holmes goes like this, I'm in. I'm sign me up. That's good enough for me. Thank you.
That's fair. And in the Woodward Sports chat thread, by the way, and the Michigan fans are doing the exact same thing that they do. Oh, it's hate, Neil. I thought we trust in Brad and Dan. If they hire him, it should be okay. KP, it is. But that's not what the information we have right now, KP. I'm talking about resume to resume. Based on common sense, not your love for Michigan, because it doesn't help us now. Am I being obtuse here? Anybody?
No.
Anybody? Chase?
No.
You don't have a dog in this fight. Am I being reasonable or no?
Yeah, you make sense to me.
Okay. That's all I was asking for. So yeah, that's it. Steven Cyber. Neil doesn't trust Dan Campbell. I'm for whoever Dan Campbell hires. Wow.
It's an opinion-based talk show.
Wow.
Is that what you want? Who said that?
I forget already.
Is that what you want us to come up here and every segment just go, whatever they do is okay? What decision they make, I like. Yeah, that's great entertainment there.
Sounds like 1930s Italy.
Sam Flannel. There's not a single soul who wants Larry Foote because he played at Michigan. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Is there a single soul that wants Robert Salah as a defensive coordinator because he was from Dearborn? Is there one? Yes, there is. So there is a single soul.
There are way too many.
Is there a single soul that wants Larry Foote as a defensive coordinator because he was at Michigan? Is there a single soul, Sean Belichian?
No. Heavens.
Oh, so I'm wrong.
No.
I'm obtuse.
Nobody puts their fandom in front of that. Nobody. Spenny, but to your point, I think sometimes the obvious has to be stated because of people like that. If Brad Holmes thinks that's the best guy, if Dan Campbell thinks that's the best guy, I'm cool with it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, where we have to come in is we have to do the compare and contrast. I'm not dogging Larry Foote. I'm not going to sit here and say I know enough about Larry Foote. But you can't sit here and say that familiarity doesn't count for something.
That's my
You
point.
can't
That's my
say
singular.
that, man.
That's my singular point, Sean.
He knows what he has. They know him. The Lions are at a different point right now, man. They are. They're at a different point right now. This isn't, okay, guys, we're all going to get together and create something special. No, there's already something special here. So you know what? I would like as few changes as possible. With the National Football League being the copycat league that it is, you're going to lose a coordinator. You're going to lose 2 coordinators. So in a perfect world, familiarity is outstanding. Now, if they don't feel he's ready for the job, then you make that knock on the door. You make that phone call. It's not that difficult, but per usual, everything today has to be more difficult than it is.
No, I'm not seeing points as to why Larry Foote's the guy.
Bam.
Not one. Just got, oh, Neil, you're a Michigan hater. Okay, cool. What about the defense? That's what I care about. The Lions defense. And if they say that he's the guy, 100%, let's go. 100%, let's go.
I'm not taking that Spielman guy. He was a Buckeye.
Yeah.
He's like one of the biggest Buckeyes in the history of the Buckeyes. Like, think about how stupid that is. It doesn't. I don't understand logic like that. Can you help me win?
All right.
Okay, cool. Come on. Hurry up. Run.
Malik Mills. Larry Foote is also from Detroit. 100%. What do you got, Chase?
I was going to say, between Graham Glasgow and Taylor Decker, who do you want to send back from last year's offensive line?
Yeah.
Michigan and Ohio State players right there.
Bingo. Made in the USA, in all caps, super chat. Larry Foote was from Detroit. Also, I want a homegrown guy.
No.
What does that matter?
That is not a criteria point. Like,
This is
stop.
the National Football League.
That means fucking nothing. That means nothing. Like, yeah, he's from Detroit. Cool. I don't give a shit if he's from Detroit. If he can coach, that's what you care about.
Nick Hedigan, if it means winning a Super Bowl, bring in Ryan Day and his whole staff. I don't care. Load up and roll. Thank you, Nick.
Who was that?
Nick Hedigan.
Nick, God bless you, bro. God,
Thank you.
I don't give
That's the
two
point to ride
craps,
off on.
Yeah.
man.
All
That
right,
means
we got
nothing.
off script a little bit there. Let's circle the wagons and try again. Tell them about jars.
Jars Cannabis. Listen up, Woodward sports fans. If you want to enjoy game day or just chill out, you go to Jars Cannabis because they got top shelf quality, a ton of different selections for you to choose from, and it is the best priced cannabis and cannabis experience in
Absolutely.
town. Whatever you need, go to shopjars.com, at @jars_life on all social media. Jars Cannabis, they're doing cannabis better than anybody in the state.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Neil Rule here for New Holland Brewing, local Michigan company. We should love it, right? No, but you should love it because New Holland Brewing Company does it all tremendously. Taller, the Dutch long drink. They take their small batch gin, they mix it with a little grapefruit puree, and the magic happens inside of those cans. It's my favorite drink. It's Sean Belesian's favorite drink. It's Spencer Raxter's favorite drink. You notice a pattern here? If you're not trying it, guys, I don't play the FOMO card a lot. But if you haven't tried this, you are missing out. That's a fact. Go to Total Wine, go to your local Meijer, Kroger, whatever it is, and try it today. I'm telling you guys that. Don't sleep on their bourbon, by the way. Their bourbon's pretty good as well. New Holland Brewing Company, local Michigan company. Taller, the Dutch long drink. Hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belicia, my friend, here with the Chase Lounge in for KG. Spencer Raxter as well. And happy to have you all with us. It is a Nickel Package Friday. All right, let's keep the football vibe going because we're all going to watch tomorrow. Yep. Sean said it. He's back. He tapped out last week. He's in this week. Let's do it. The Conference Championship Nickel Packages, Spenny. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
All right, the conference.
Whichever one you want first.
Championship nickel packages. We'll start with the NFC because
Okay. Let's peel
rip the Band-Aid off.
Yep.
First question: does Jalen Hurts look right to you? He has been banged up.
Yeah.
Or MCL strain, the concussion stuff.
He looks like a NASCAR that needs a pit stop. He does for real. Like there seems to be
That's a
smoke
good
coming from
analogy.
the engine. Like he tells you it's all fine,
Yeah.
but the tires are a little worn. It's just he looks like a guy that's been through it.
No, I don't think he's right, and I think it would be in their best interest to have him at his best. I mean, we saw what Washington can do. I think our worst fears are coming to life, and Washington's going to the Super Bowl. I'm not joking.
Calling it.
Yeah, I'll vomit all day. I will. Like Sunday morning, I'll wake up and I'll vomit, and then I'll vomit again, and I'll vomit again.
If they just don't turn the ball over 5 times and hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley,
Like get him 20 touches.
and don't turn the ball over
Against
5
that run
times.
D, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
second down.
All right, second down, second question of the NFC Championship nickel package: is Terry McLaurin undervalued?
I'm starting to think so, man.
I don't know. I think he's consensus top 10 receiver in the NFL.
What was one of the things we talked about? I can't believe it was 6 days ago. What was one of the things we talked about 6 days ago? The 2 things that we feared, and I think Neil, you were obviously during your game, but Spenny and I talked about this. There were 2 things that I feared for Washington. It was Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels, and our worst fears came to life. So I don't. This isn't a guy that just burst on the scene. I think people know, and maybe just maybe he's getting the respect he deserves in mass now.
Yeah, he's been doing it with nobody's at quarterback.
Right?
He's always been solid, but I mean, look at your fantasy draft. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a guy. You show me your league winners. They probably have Terry McLaurin on their team because they probably got him in the 3rd or 4th round.
It's kind of funny how that works out.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's wild, man. I noticed it this year in our league because my son took him, and I noticed it the year before. It's just he doesn't get the run that he deserves, man. He's a good player. Really, really good player. Shout out the Commanders fans that are in here watching. You still are. I love it. I love you for it.
Best of luck to you guys.
I love you for it.
I respect you. You're not coochie coo.
Third down.
All right, third down, third question of the NFC Championship nickel package: are the Commanders here to stay?
I think so. I think so for one reason only. Because Jaden Daniels is real. And you see it. And he's done it. And he's shown trends of it. And it's not Trevor Lawrence, just you wait. And it's not Justin Herbert, just you wait. And did you see the cute numbers they put up last year? It's not any of that. He went out and he did it. No talk. No bullshit to it. I didn't have to wait on it. And Sean, I've always said this about sports. There's exceptions to the rule, but when guys can play, typically they can play. Like right when they get here. I don't have to wait for them. I see it right away. And you see it with this guy.
I do not envision the C.J. Stroud step backwards in any way.
Well, I was told he was here.
I do not envision that. I'm with you. The National Football League today is about the quarterback. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying it until some of you finally figure it out. It just is. Everything is predicated towards the quarterback and what your quarterback can do to the opposition, what your defense can do to said quarterback to disrupt him. He's a special quarterback.
No, and that's it. And that was like the final test for me. Like I got in a lot of trouble in the Washington, D.C. area to say, this is the peak environment that you can walk into. This is the toughest environment in sports that you're going to walk into. And he did it.
He did it.
I didn't hear excuses as to why it didn't happen. He did it. Yes, he's here. Oh, by the way, hail to the Redskins 58. I came in here to hate watch after the game. But genuinely, This is good radio.
Thank
Hail
you.
to the Redskins. That's all I do, man. I just sit up here and I tell you how I feel. That's it. I don't give you hot takes. I don't say shit to get you worked up because I'm too lazy. I can't think of how I'm supposed to feel. I just tell you how I feel. Like, that's it. All right, next down.
All right, next down. Next question of the NFC Championship game nickel package. How good is Saquon Barkley?
If you want to get down to it, if you want to talk about it, I would say that Saquon Barkley is going to get shortchanged in the MVP voting. I think he's right there. If you wanted to sit here and say it's Josh Allen, I couldn't kill you. But if you wanted to sit here and tell me it's Saquon Barkley, I couldn't kill you either. Does he not look like the missing piece?
Yes.
He is going to be the guy that's center stage of the NFC Championship game. And if he balls out, there's nothing anybody can do about it.
What were we just talking about with exceptions to the rule? There are always exceptions to the rule, okay? There's no hard and fast, okay? Saquon Barkley is an exception to the rule. I don't think you need that special type of quarterback when you've got a guy like Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is a throwback to the days, Neil, you and I grew up, where you knew everybody. John Riggins, shout out to Washington, is going to get the ball 30 times a game. Tony Dorsett, Billy Sims,
Barry Sanders,
Sanders, right? All those things where we
except
knew
at the goal line.
We knew all the backs in the league. Saquon Barkley is kind of a throwback like that. I much respect to that guy. All right, I'm going to say this again, okay? With wear and tear, shout out to my guy Ron Rice. There's a reason why the shelf life for running backs like that have become so small and short, and I worry about Saquon Barkley long term.
Yeah.
I don't think this league is the league where guys are going to hang around as long as a guy like John Riggins did. The wear and tear just catches up to you with all the pops you're taking left, right, and every which way.
Jameer Gibbs is better.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Mega Hustler 313. Neil sounds like Mark Ryan. Wouldn't you say that Mark Ryan sounds like me? Because I've been here my whole life.
Facts.
Who's that?
The new guy at the flagship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say you have that inverse. But go ahead.
All right, next question of the NFC Conference Championship nickel package. If Jaden Daniels pulls this off, then blank.
What are you going to say? He's a rookie in the Super Bowl.
He's arrived.
And you have to account for that.
have
What are
to.
you going to say? I mean, it's all like my tweet after the game. What people were like, what do you have to say now? What do you want me to say?
Yeah, props.
For him to go into Philly and do that too? And they go to the Super Bowl?
It was very important to me, Neil, and I did this more from our Viking fans. You have to own it. Don't disappear. And that's just something that we talked about all year, Neil. You know I'm going to be here on a Monday. You know that Neil's going to be here. If you have an issue with something we say during the football season, you know where to find me. I'm not difficult to find. You can take your shots on social media. I'm not going to block you. I will answer you. Period. End of story.
I learned
okay?
that from you.
Right?
Yeah.
That's going to happen. At much of the chagrin of, trust me, a lot of media people, well, why do you even give them the time of day? No, you know what? I want to practice accountability. As I said, I didn't hear, not from one Viking fan. Not from one. Isn't it? Now, Neil, think about that. And I don't know if you didn't. These people terrorized Neil and I for months. And if I might say, very unfairly to me, because where Neil and I parted is I said, you're a good team. I think you're a playoff team. You're not going anywhere, but you're a good team. And Neil,
You're not a good team.
Not one person came and took their medicine. Not one.
No, they doubled down. I got more from the Vikings fans.
They mocked us when we lost. You maniacs! But you know what I do in
It
a
was
game
wild.
like that? If a Washington fan is sitting there with the spoon, I go like this. I'm ready to take my medicine.
100%.
Give me my medicine.
Guys, this isn't that deep, man.
Really isn't.
Hey, if you do this line of work and you have a microphone in front of your face and every word is remembered, recorded, talked about, you're going to be wrong. No one is 100% in gambling, right? They're not. So what down we on, Spenny?
I think that was it.
Was it really? All right, sweet. Real quick,
Yep.
Fab Five bad boys. I love Jameer Gibbs, but Saquon Barkley's on another level right now. 2,000 plus yards rushing. I'm low key. I'm with you.
Jahmyr Gibbs is better.
I said earlier in the year that if like we didn't give too much value to the quarterback position, Saquon would be clearly the MVP, like that we talked about all year.
I mean, if they win this Super Bowl, Saquon Barkley will figure prominently in everything they do. Everything they do. And he'll be the reason. He was the missing piece.
I mean, I think honestly, like, we're talking about Jalen Hurts being injured possibly or just not looking right. I think they could put Kenny Pickett in this game and win easily just because you have Saquon Barkley. Like you guys said, you can just hand the ball off.
Could you imagine? All right, let's take the break. We got back at it. We got the AFC Championship game nickel package. Pistons nickel, Red Wings nickel. Let's do it, Spenny. Where are we at?
Let me tell them about Mark White. Mark
Please
White
do.
will save you up to $5,000 your closing costs if you're looking to buy or sell your home. Visit him at markwhitesells.com or call him at 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com. Again, he'll save you up to $5,000 on your closing cost.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for FeldmanAuto.com. That's right. We know about Feldman Chevrolet in Novi because they're Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. But what if you want a Ford? What if you want a Kia? What if you want a used car? It does not matter. All the steps remain the same. You go to FeldmanAuto.com. Oh, by the way, Feldman Auto, the exclusive Ineos Grandeur dealership as well. Those SUVs, man, they are tough, man. They go hard. Look into that as well. They're out there in Waterford Township. So again, if you want a car, go with the people that are rooted in Detroit. They've been here since 1996. They do great charity work with the Children's Miracle Network Hospital as well. All of it. Guys, love it. Bought my car from Feldman Chevy. I love it. You'll love it too. FeldmanAuto.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for Darren McCarty. We have Spencer Raxter. We have Chase in for KG. Nickel package Friday. Let's get to it. The AFC Championship nickel package.
All right, first question of the AFC Championship nickel package. How come Josh Allen escapes all the hate Lamar gets? Aren't they basically in the same spot?
Is it something that's, Sean, is it something that's bubbling under the surface? Like the Jared Goff thing that I talked about, like the Goff haters. I think it's there, and they're waiting. They're not going to come out and say it now. But if Allen loses on Sunday, I think that you'll see it. Because you know how the mob works, right? They'll move on to the next.
I tend to agree with you there. I think, and I'll speak for me, I love Josh Allen. Okay, I've said that many times over the years being on Woodward Sports and many of the different places. But part of the Josh Allen intrigue before this year was Josh Allen is going to do two things that make your eyes pop out of your head. And then he's going to do one thing that makes you laugh because it's going to be pathetically stupid and hurts your team. And he's minimized these mistakes this year. And so I think people now have to take Josh Allen more seriously. I really do, Neil, and you tell me if you disagree. I think people have to take Josh Allen more seriously this year. But if they fall to the Kansas City Chiefs
again,
again, I have a feeling a lot of that heat is going to fly his way.
And it's going to come flying on social media. This is a great point by Fab Five Bad Boys. It's because of the MVPs. I agree with you. I do agree with you to a very, very large degree. Etienne says, no, Josh Allen has been better in the playoffs. Based on all we're talking about right now, none of that matters, Etienne. If they lose, and make no mistake, when they're playing the national anthem and he's standing on that sideline and he looks across, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, the boogeyman standing over there, man.
The thing that I worry about, and I've said it all gosh damn year, and you see, now you took me back to the place where I'm considering to not watch this weekend just because of hearing you talk like that. Do you know what? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are cautionary tales for us. They are. Whether we want to admit it or not is inconsequential. Everybody and their brother thinks that,
we're in their club now, but we don't want to stay in their club.
Right. That's what I'm telling you. Again, you told me 4 years ago Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen would never have punched a ticket to the Super Bowl. I would have said, you're nuts. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop it. Don't ever talk ball with me again. Like, honestly, I would have said that. And I don't want to stay in that club very long. But I agree with you. I'm glad to hear you say it first. We're in that club now. Whether we like it or not, we're in that club.
In the Super Chat, Burn, could you imagine the Bills losing another Super Bowl to an NFC East team? We can't talk cursed if that happens. That would be soul-crushing. Am I the only one, too, speaking of the Bills? I'm not sitting here rooting for them. I want them to feel pain the way I feel pain.
I want Josh Allen to win a Super Bowl. I like Josh Allen a lot.
I don't want...
And it's not out of spite. It's not out of I hate Kansas City. You're talking to the wrong guy, though. I love Josh Allen.
Me too.
Like, honestly, I do.
I respect him, no doubt.
I think part of me is, and it's funny, we won't talk about the context, but sometimes some of these holier-than-thou beat writers and scout draft beatniks and stuff, I think sometimes they try too hard, and quite frankly...
Wait a minute. You're telling me writers try too hard?
And quite frankly, they become whiny bitches. And just
I guess you are.
The way that people reacted over Josh Allen when he was drafted. Sometimes a guy just makes plays.
Yeah, sometimes he's just good.
Sometimes and you know what? Brett Favre was like that too. I remember Brett Favre in college being like college elite. Right? Like seriously, I'm sorry. I'll pat myself on the back. Oh, he does too many stupid things. Sometimes he does more good things, and he ends up being a pretty damn good quarterback. And people trying to dissuade from his game like that, they have been proven wrong 100%.
Patrick in the chat, is that a Plymouth Whalers jacket? That's some fire. That is. I miss the Plymouth Whalers. What do you got, Chase? Well, that's true. That is true. Next down.
I just wanted to say when the Lions were out of it, after the Lions were out of it, I was either Ravens or Buffalo. Whoever won that game, I wanted to see win the Super Bowl. Because like Sean said, both of those guys, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, were said they can't do it in the NFL. They're not going to be able to do it in the NFL. People said Lamar should be a wide receiver, and now they're two of the four best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Listen,
Bring that back up at 12:50. Yeah. When we go back for the last segment, bring that up. Let's just think tank it.
Do you if you're listening right now and you heard what he said is 100% real. Learned people who are
I love that word.
Put out there on a pedestal like they are the be-all, end-all, said that Lamar Jackson can never be a quarterback at this level. What he did at Louisville was product of the system, and he does not translate to quarterback in the National Football League. That is not fake. That is not Spenny exaggerating. That's real, and that's what I'm talking about. Guys like that, Spenny, I'm with you. I kind of pull for them.
Alan W. in the chat. Neil, I agree. I'm petty. We notice a theme here with me. I admit it, though. I want KC to three-peat so everyone outside of KC is miserable like us. And that's where I am, too.
That's what's going to happen. You guys, I hope you all get ready for it. I'm sorry. It's been in the script for a year and a half. I saw the script, and it's been in the script for a year and a half.
All right, next down.
Next question of the AFC nickel package. Why does America hate the Chiefs now? Did we reach our breaking point? It's Patrick Mahomes' wife. That's why I hate the Chiefs.
we've had Patrick Mahomes' wife for a while.
She sucks.
No, I agree.
She must suck real good for him to win, man.
All right, we're moving on from that. And look, I know what the answer.
3,000.
I know what the answer is. It's probably a combination of his wife Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. I don't get it. Like, Patrick Mahomes, other than his wife, does everything the right way. He does. He's courteous. He does great stuff in the community. All of it. I guess that's just the way we work, though, right? Sean, we build you up, then we tear you down.
I was never on the anti-Patrick Mahomes run until this year. And maybe it's always been there, and I just didn't notice it. His flopping and faking.
That shit is annoying. And he bitches a lot.
Crap out of me.
He addressed, like, he said it publicly. He was like, yeah, that probably wasn't the best move by me.
But it happens a lot. I didn't.
Still does it, though.
I hate to say that. I didn't mind the Chiefs. I really didn't. I think Andy Reid's obviously Andy Reid. I didn't mind the Chiefs, but I will tell you, for me, and it's Neil. If you and I say something, well, who are we? We're two local guys, okay? When I see guys that nationally cover the league say some things, I have never seen a team in my life, even prime Patriots, get the calls that the Chiefs do. I've never seen it. That every single week.
Danny G, they really don't deserve the glazing they get. Danny G.
I mean, they absolutely do.
Okay, thank you.
They've
More
won
on that
back-to-back
later.
Super Bowls, 3 of the past 4.
They could be the first team to win the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. And they're, in my mind, they're going to be. I've said it all year. I'm not deviating from it. That's historic, dude.
7 straight conference championships.
I want you guys to think about this, okay? Think about Bradshaw couldn't do it. Aikman couldn't do it. Greasy couldn't do it.
Montana.
Brady couldn't do it. Montana couldn't do it. Like, Mahomes is this close to doing it. Like, that's historic. I hate them all you want, hate the Chiefs all you want, but you have to give a tip of the cap if they're eventually able to finish that off.
The Taylor Swift angle of it, clearly I undervalue that. All right, next down.
Also, shout out to Marco Casper blowing up Josh Anderson on the boards last night. It was pretty awesome.
Fair.
Shout out Marco Casper. Using his size, you love to see that. All right, next question of the AFC Conference Championship nickel package. Is Andy Reid underrated?
Yes.
I don't think so.
How could you say anything otherwise?
I think he's properly rated.
Like, no disrespect. Like, shame on you for asking a dumb fuck question like that. Like, honestly.
Sean, I think he is.
Oh, I do too.
I think 100%. Like, if you go through the annals of coaching, you never start with Andy Reid. Andy Reid's not second. He's not third. And the witchcraft that he draws up offensively, and I can't find it on my phone. It was, you remember the Browns playoff game where Mahomes got hurt?
Yeah.
And Chad Henne had to come in, and they had the ball 4th and 1, and they threw that pass to Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. That play they drew up, I had it in slow motion on my phone, and I can't find it. Was unbelievable. It was porn. It was football porn. And it's just, I think he is criminally underrated. You never start off the greatest coaches of all time. You never get to him first, second, or third, ever.
No.
And you should.
You put his name up there, and I think a lot of times, listen, your shortcomings aren't magnified until you win. And I think because he's won so much now, we can sit back and go, man, he did some things with that Eagle team that was just a disaster. How did he get them to the points that he got them to when there were so many different soap operas going on behind the scenes? So 100%, I don't know how anybody could answer otherwise. I really don't.
I think Andy Reid is properly rated. I think everybody respects him as a top 5 coach ever. But Weezy D313 in the Woodward Sports Chat says, Andy Reid actually does something instead of that Tom Brady merchant. What has Andy Reid won without Patrick Mahomes?
He did get the Eagles to a Super Bowl.
But did he win it?
No, he didn't, but he got him there. He got him there. I'll give him that. And
Bill Belichick won 12 games with, what was his name? Ryan Mallett? We had him. He was a Lion at one point. I can't remember his name. I can see his face. I can't remember.
Really happy guy, nice guy.
Yeah. Your mic's muted, Chase.
Who are you guys talking about? Sorry, I'm doing clips right now.
The guy who came in for Brady when he got hurt and they won 11 games.
Did he go to
Brian
UFC?
Hoyer?
No. Not
somebody
Chase
in chat. I'm going to look it up right now because now it's bothering.
Not Matt Castle. Matt Castle. Yeah.
Of course, Sam Flannel got it.
Yeah, Matt Castle.
Do we have one more? Or are we done?
We got a couple more. Where does the Chiefs dynasty fit in NFL lore?
If they cash this one in, more than the Patriots, and this is
Yes.
the back and forth
Yes.
I had on it.
3 in a row. It's never happened.
7 straight conference chip game. Like,
Never happened.
I
You've got to give them their love. You
right
have
off
to.
the rip, I shade towards you, Sean. I
Yeah.
do. Spenny,
Right,
what do you got on it? Spenny, what do you got on it?
I don't know. I hate to say 1, but 4 out of 5.
And 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
7 straight chip games.
Yeah. Because
And the
what
one
were
you
the
lost,
Patriots?
both you're starting to. But the one you lost, Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker were out.
Yeah, that's true. And but the Patriots were what, 6 in 8 years or something like that, or 6 in 10 years. Yeah, I mean it's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Like,
It's funny because like this is where I go through my brain and this is where I'm geeky. So you had Green Bay win 2, they couldn't finish the deal. You had Miami, including the only unbeaten team, win 2, they couldn't finish the deal. You had Pittsburgh win 2 different times, they couldn't finish the deal. You had Frisco win 2. They couldn't finish the deal. You had Dallas win 2, and 3 out of 4, they couldn't finish the deal. All those Patriot teams that you just spoke of couldn't find a way. If they win 3 in a row, plus the other one,
That's you.
it's Larry Bird, man. It is. It's just all day
I'll
Larry Bird.
tell you what. The chat's electric on it right now. Like it's split down the middle. It's wild. All right, last one, right?
Yep.
down.
Last one here. We got. Weren't the Bills supposed to take a step back this year?
They were. We were told, right? Like it's the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. The Dolphins are on the ascend.
We had conversations like that. That's kind of funny.
Stephon Diggs is gone.
We had,
What weapons does he
the
have?
Jets are going to be dangerous conversations.
No, I didn't.
No, you and I didn't.
Yeah.
We had to yell at people about it.
Yeah, I didn't ever.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible, man.
A lot of people thought that the Bills' window was shut. Remember
Yeah,
that?
100%.
A lot.
Now
I
I shaded more towards that
I
than
did.
what's happening now.
I said their window was shut.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. And Josh Allen went Superman this year.
He 100% did. But if he loses Sunday, he's right back
right
to square.
back, yeah.
He's right back to square one.
Yeah, it doesn't
Nothing's different. He's the Lions. He's the Ravens. That's why I love Sean. The overriding message to all this. This is why I love the National Football League playoffs. Your legacy is on the line, and it doesn't matter. There's one outcome. You win or you lose. You play like shit and win, no one cares. You play awesome and lose, no one cares. I love it. I love it.
I always go back to John Elway. Like, John Elway is the perfect. You can find old Simpsons episodes where multiple times, they made fun of the Denver Broncos and John Elway for gagging in a Super Bowl. Like, it's funny, my kids went through this thing where they discovered The Simpsons and then they wanted to go back and watch every season. There are multiple episodes where there was some very Simpson-esque comment about Elway choking, the Broncos choking. John Elway finally wins a Super Bowl and then wins another one. The way history looks at John Elway is 1,000% differently because of that. If he retired after, before they won that first Super Bowl, he would have been known as one of the biggest gag artists ever, and which would have been unfair. John Elway was a heck of a quarterback and didn't always have the best around him. He wins 2 Super Bowls and looked at completely differently. I'm not sitting here saying it's fair, but that's reality. That's the way it is. Lamar Jackson has been a tremendous quarterback in the National Football League. Josh Allen, next level this year for him. You don't win, people are going to look at you differently.
right back to square
That's just
one.
the reality, man.
Just like the reality of a haircut is, it's best at Lady Jane's.
That's for sure. Lady Jane's will take care of you. They take the chore out of getting a haircut. One of our lovely, talented stylists will treat you to an award-winning haircut, a scalp massage, a hot lather neck shave, and even a hot towel
Shooting
treatment.
two.
Lady Jane's Haircuts open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for men. It is wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
New year, new you. How about a new car? Les Stanford Buick GMC is here for you. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUV for 24 months with 10,000 miles a year, only $699 per month, just $19.99 down payment. Or a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab, 24 months with 10,000 miles a year, only for $359 a month. Sign and drive, no down payment required. GMC discount required for both. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Nickel Package Friday, Bourbon Friday. Shout out Varchaz for it. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for D-Mac. We have Chase. We have Spencer Rax. I got a text from my buddy. They sent me a social media graphic. Is the AFC West the best coaching division ever? Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, Andy Reid, Pete Carroll.
Jeez, dude. Wow, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
No.
maybe if you're playing shuffleboard, get all those old fucks out of here. No, it's pretty good.
All right, thank you. That's all. GW Kid in the Super Chat. That's what I'm talking about, Sean B. Finished it off nicely. Keep sipping slow, Neil. But that's only the only way to sip, right? Like, that's it. All right, Nickel Package Friday. You want to jump on the hardwood? Pistons, they got a poppin'.
Yeah, we'll do a Pistons fast break here. The first question of the Pistons fast break. Kate Cunningham did not get voted into the All-Star starter. I don't think that was anything too surprising. He's got to be an All-Star, though, right?
I love the groundswell of support, too. I do. Like, nationally. Like, our guy, Mark Spears, was first to the story nationally. Mark said he deserves fringe MVP recognition. He's not the MVP, but he's in that stratosphere. I think, and you guys will laugh at this, I think Mark doing that on ESPN will probably aid in him getting into the All-Star. He has to be. He's like the social media flavor now.
It is. I don't think when that many people are talking about you, this isn't us. This isn't our little sphere of influence. This is national people. I mean, I understand why he wasn't initially, but he's got to now. I don't think there's too much smoke, and I think there's a fire just over the way. So yes,
and it ties into too, right? Like, he'll get in. Say the Pistons, get to the playoffs. Say they win a series. Say they shock the world and win a series. Then you can book his ticket, I think, for next year. What, Spenny?
Nothing. I literally can't say it, or we'll get canceled.
Okay, then please don't.
It's a tweet, but it's really funny. All right, next question of the Pistons fast break. Isaiah Stewart is #1 in the NBA opposing field goal percentage allowed at the rim, meaning he is the best rim protector in the NBA. Is he an all-defensive player this year?
That's pretty nuanced to get people to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you hear that right away, what are you conditioned to think, Spenny? That's an outlier.
Yeah.
That's not who he is. I don't see him blocking, 4 shots a game like Wemby. He'll never get the recognition he deserves. Isaiah Stewart on your team, if he is your 7, you know what I mean? Like, as you work your way down the roster, if he's your 7, you have a championship team. You do, for real. Like, Isaiah Stewart is a prominent player on a championship team. He is. And I think that's a trajectory of this team. He is very, very good. He'll never get the credit for that, though. He just won't.
I don't think he'll get to that point, but that's okay. And a lot of times I talk about this with the Red Wings all the time. People throwing Norris Trophy at this guy or Calder Trophy at that guy. It's okay if they don't. I just want him to be a nice, solid piece of the puzzle, and I think he is.
I agree. Third quarter.
Mark Royal said, Spenny making up stats to stay Stewart is good. It's not a made-up stat. He's number 1 in the league at that. So because you don't watch the games, don't put that on me. Next question here. Do you have a player comp for Asar Thompson? It's so hard to find one. It's like Dennis Rodman is like the closest you can, but he's more of a fluid ball handler.
More athletic.
Yeah, more of a fluid ball handler than Rodman.
Yeah, like more polished.
Yeah.
Like a less raw Rodman.
Rodman was pretty raw.
Full disclosure, I actually looked up some stuff when you sent this last night. Some of the names that I saw out there were Andre Iguodala, Wiggins. Somebody said Dominique Wilkins, which was a heresy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think that's going way too far. But same thing. It's okay. It's like if he's a Wiggins, Iguodala.
But those
guys,
guys you bring up, like Wiggins and stuff like that, like, okay, I understand if you say that, you're giving up something in terms of shooting the basketball.
Sure.
But I would say you're gaining something in terms of what you can do defensively.
Right.
The versatility you have defensively. I think you're gaining something there with Asar.
I think prime Iguodala's too high. I think people forget that dude.
He was a Finals MVP.
Right. And Dominique Wilkins is just crack. Like, stop it. Don't say things like that. But the Wiggins, Neil, is that a fair comp?
Yes. And like I said, yes, I'll give you the shooting of Wiggins, but I'm taking the better defensive end of Asar and the defensive versatility. And I would say this too, Sean. In today's day and age, if you are a good team, if you are a playoff team, I think that he would be a little more valuable to a team that has Cade, like a defined guy. Like, that's the guy. So I would deploy him, I guess, defensively.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
Fair. All right, next down.
People are saying Andre Iguodala he needs to shoot better if he wants to be Andre Iguodala.
I don't look.
The give and take, like we were talking about.
Yeah, it's give and take.
Prime, I thought he was pretty special.
Iguodala was insane.
I think Prime.
When the Martians have the death laser pointed at Earth, I mean, give me Iguodala.
Give me Iguodala.
1,000%. Give me a break.
No,
I'm just telling you, some of the comparisons that I read, I thought a couple were wacky, but...
like the Etienne, I want Iguodala. He was a Finals MVP on a team that had Steph Curry.
Of course you do.
Like, of course.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. It's just we're trying to get you in the ballpark. It's not everything is an absolute yes or no. There's nuance to life. All right, next down.
Next question of the Pistons Fast Break. Do they have to buy at the deadline?
Define buy.
Yes, and define what your hopes and aspirations are would be my next comment.
Get somebody to replace what you lost in Jaden Ivey.
No.
They can buy by adding draft capital too.
Yes.
They can buy both ways, and that is buying for this team. But no, Spenny, I get where you're going with this. You're the king of the transaction, man, and most people are. You're not undifferent than a lot of other people out there. I get what you're saying. And Spenny, like, truth be told, if you said, hey, Neil, it rides to you, what do you want to do? And that's what they're going to do. I would shade towards you. I want a player. I want to sneak a round out. I do. I want to sneak a playoff round victory. That's what I want, because I want it to go away. Like the stats of their first winning month since 2019. I want all that to go away. How do you do that? You win a round in the playoffs.
What are you prepared to give up, though? I'm telling
you.
Control. One of my greatest pet peeves in doing sports talk, in TV, radio, my whole life is the backside of what are you prepared to do. Because it's easy to say, I want this, I want this, I want this. But it's almost like you forget there's another dude on the other end of the line.
Lindsey Hunter and Terry Mills.
That is not going to accept Lindsey Hunter and Terry Mills for prime Karl Malone. It's not going to happen. And I can't tell you how many times we've had that conversation.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen. Karl Malone's
the prices, but you understand the prices that people are throwing out there are normally insane and slaptastic. So I don't want that.
I saw DNC ENT in the Woodward Sports Chat said that earlier that Bobby Portis is made available. I would love Bobby 100%, Portis. Yeah. I would love Bobby Portis.
And like, here's the needle that I would love to see Trajan thread, and I think it's possible. You get compensated to take the guy you want.
That's what like we talked about it. Wherever if Jimmy Butler goes somewhere, if the Suns decide to blow it up, if you're seeing a star move, the Pistons are going to get somebody. You know, I'm from around the way. You know, I'm leaving here with something. So they're going to get something off of somebody.
They have to. They absolutely have to. We got one more?
Yeah, one
Real
more.
Quick.
Final question of the the Pistons fast break. Is the 5th seed too high of expectations?
No, they're 2 games back of the 4th seed.
No.
Mm-hmm. Like, now, sitting here, right now, you know, Neil, would you bet your finest bottle of bourbon that they're going to be the 4th seed? Obviously not. Like, yeah, they're going to pass the Bucks. No, I'm not going to say that. However, the math of it all, we're halfway through the season, Sean. We are halfway through the season. Here they sit, 2 games back of the 4th seed. And you can make excuses for it, or you can give qualifiers to it, or whatever. I don't care. They had their first winning month since 2019. I don't care how it happens. They're here right now. That's it for me.
This isn't like, you know, in the years gone by where you know, hope is not a strategy. Neil, they're right there. This isn't make up ground like the Red Wings have to do and pass a bunch of teams and all that stuff.
And Sean,
it's right there.
They're 2-0 on the hardest road trip left.
Yep.
They're 2-0.
Yep.
Now, even if they dog the next 3, they're still 2-3 on that road trip. And if I offered that up to you in a handshake, you'd break my hand squeezing it.
And again, don't sit there and think that any of us are guaranteeing it. But let's answer the question: is 5th seed too high of an expectation? No, I'm not saying they're going to end there, but where they're at right now, no.
Bingo. What break we at, Spenny?
1800. Let me tell you about 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of the Detroit Lions. You see they got the cool Lions themed bottles there. You can go and get them in stores now. 1800 Tequila is the smoothest taste in tequila, and as always, please, when drinking, drink responsibly.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. They got their signature wings, 7 different flavors for you to choose from. My favorite is the spicy garlic, but you can try them all and choose your own favorite for yourself. Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. To find one near you, go to sorokis.com.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy Nickel Package Friday. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean here with you. We have Spencer Raxter. Chase is in the building, filling in for KG as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread also. And, yeah, we're doing it. We did the Pistons. You want to step onto the ice, Sean Belizean? I know you do.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Red Wings, nickel package.
Red Wings nickel package. All right, first question of the Red Wings nickel package. Elmer Soderblom Thoughts?
I like the frame, right? I like the frame. That's a bit unique in the NHL. I really like the frame. I would like to see a touch more athleticism if we're talking like next. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah. But fine. Like, he's fine. Is he going to be like a 30? Is he going to be DeBrincat? No, he's not.
One of my issues in recent years, I've talked about this many times, is people trying to put guys on a pedestal that they don't belong. He's just a guy. It's a nice issue to have when you've got reach like that. You can make life miserable on the opponent in a myriad of ways. He's just a guy, and that's okay. If some of the other pieces that we have here turn into the players that we expect them to be, you'll take a guy whose reach is that much farther than other guys.
Woodward Sports Chat Thread, Super Chat, Dante151. If Tyler Hero made available, what would you give up to get him in a trade? This is just hypothetical because I know Miami wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't give up a ton, Dante. I have Malik Beasley. Shoots around the upper 30% from three, and that's the role. That's the role. Like, the thing that people love Tyler Hero about, that's what Cade's doing with the ball in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at it from
I'm
a
good
shooter
on Tyler
role.
Hero.
I'm not giving anything up. Now, you want to compensate me to get him? Then I'll listen. You feel me?
If we're getting somebody from the Heat, I would like Jaime Jaquez.
And, I mean, I don't know. I guess, like, cap hit $31 million next year, $33 million. That's not awful, per se. Like, that would intrigue me a little bit, but I'll do it if I get compensated. All right, second period.
Second question of the Red Wings nickel package. Huge win last night. Amazing what happens when you have puck possession in it.
And Sean, you'll laugh at this. I was sitting there last night, and there was about 5 minutes left. And every single face-off the Red Wings lost. Every single one of them. And I'm sitting there watching it with my son. He's like, he's not a hockey fan. Like, the Red Wings, like, he wants the Red Wings to win, obviously. You know, he's a Detroit fan. And I'm sitting there just complaining. Lost that face-off. Lost that face-off. Lost that face-off. None of this should be happening right now. You know, the cycles and everything. But yeah, that backs up to what I'm talking about. When you have the puck, you typically win.
You know, it is really so simplistic, and that's why the whole dump and chase stuff. That first period was as good as it gets. They didn't allow Montreal to use their superior speed and really set the terms of said game. You hold on to the puck, you like your chances. It's kind of funny. I don't know who keeps those stats, Neil. And honest to God, Neil and I did not have this conversation.
No.
Like, really and truly. As we were at the game, my buddies and I was with some, here's another word, learned hockey guys at the game.
Oh, hockey elite.
We were laughing at what the reality was of the draws and what the draws were reported. I'll leave it at that. Whoever was keeping the stats, I'll just leave it. I didn't agree.
There's a human being that keeps it.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But no, hey, listen, that's the type of period that you want to see out of the Red Wings. That's the type of period that they're going to need over the next couple of weeks.
I was just glad they made it hold up.
Yeah,
I was glad. Next one.
Next question of the Detroit Red Wings fast break, or 5-on-3, whatever you want to call it. Lightning Kings at Oilers, at Flames, at Canucks, at Kraken, Lightning.
Jesus.
God damn.
The story will. I get where you're going, Spenny. The story will be written.
I think so.
This is it.
The
Like, the
rest is
story will be
still
written. If
unwritten.
we get to that point at the end of what you just said, if we get to the Lightning the second time, and they're 5 points back of 6 teams, 6 points back of 6 teams, it's over. It's over.
And it's funny, Neil, because I know a lot of times, especially in the midst of a honeymoon period, people don't want to hear it. But I said it 3 weeks ago. Like, going into the Four Nations, we were going to find out all we needed to know about this team.
Four Nations.
It's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, that'll be a pantless week. They're just going to be off for the week.
Not to be confused with 7 Nations.
Yes.
All right, next one.
Next question of the Red Wings fast break nickel package 5-on-3. Speaking of Four Nations, we are only 19 days away. On a scale of 1 to 5, how excited are you?
48 and a half.
Pantless weekend.
Pantless week. No, you guys, again, I want you, to the hockey fans out there, you guys know, we haven't had best against the best in forever. It's been way too long. Why? Especially with this generation of tremendous players. And Spenny, I'm not just talking about the young up-and-comers. Like, it's great that Lucas Raymond is on Team Sweden, okay? I'm not talking about the young up-and-comers. I'm talking about, like, bona fide established stars haven't had their opportunity on the biggest stage against the best players of the world. It's a travesty, it's a sham, it's a disgrace, but it's finally happening. And so to the hockey fans out there, there's nothing better than the best versus the best. I'll say again, Russia should be there. It's not their players' fault that Putin's a madman. But with that being said, 48 and a half to answer that 1 to 5 question.
All right, next one.
I think that was... Oh, no, we got one more.
One more.
January 24th, 2025. Who is the Red Wings' biggest rival today? Ottawa, and it's not even close.
And that's where I was going to be with it, too.
I agree
It's
with you.
Ottawa. It's Ottawa for a couple of reasons. The trade, the cheap shots. They're in the same stratosphere. They're both similar, trying to get back to the playoffs, trying to get back to relevancy, which is kind of lame, but that's where we are.
We were having discussions, some old school guys at the game last
I'm
night.
fascinated to hear this, by the way.
No, and it was really funny because you know what they did? They all went old school. It's Chicago. There's something about when Montreal comes into town. You got to go with one of the original 6 teams. And I was like, haven't you guys watched the last couple of years? I think we should all send a thank you card to Brady Tkachuk and say thank you. Thank you for making the Ottawa Senators must-watch television when the Red Wings play the Senators. I'm serious. Spenny, I reacted just the way you did. As I listened to those guys go back and forth, I immediately just said Senators.
Yeah, it's Ottawa.
I think it's great. It's fantastic. Listen, I'm going to say it again. I love Brady Tkachuk. You can hate on him all you want, but I'll tell you what. You know what the true measure of that guy is? If he was a Red Wing,
love him.
Oh my gosh, this town would embrace him like some of the legends in this town.
But he's not, so he's a dirtball, and I hate him.
Yeah,
I'd go
Spenny.
to war with a guy
Fair.
like that. He's got a punchable face, and he knows he's got a punchable
He does.
face. But before you punch his face, he'll put your teeth in. That's why I love the guy. I love the guy.
Speaking of punchable faces, I mean, they're not punchable faces, but they're hopefully going to punch punchable faces in the future. I really liked what I was seeing physicality-wise out of Kasper and Soderblom last night. Soderblom was standing up for Larkin, which, thank God, we have a guy on this team that's going to stand up for the captain. I feel like we haven't had that in fucking 10 years. He was throwing his body around there, and like I said earlier, that hit Kasper had down on the boards, they're big kids. You got those two. You got Nygaard coming up, hopefully in a couple years. Like you got some grit out there now. So
that's why I say, and I know we said this last month when Coach Lalonde was fired. I'm a firm believer, and if you want to call me old school, go right ahead. It's a mentality. You make a choice. I'm not saying that you have to go out there and play like you're prime Bob Probert, okay? But you make the choice to use your 6'8" frame. There are advantages that a 6'8" frame can do to somebody that a 6'1" frame cannot do. And that's not going out there and acting the part of a thug, but gosh damn it, go make a choice to be physical. Make a choice to use your body, and you like to see that out of young players.
Mike O in the chat. Sean knows what a punchable face looks like. I don't know what that means.
I do. Anytime you're ready, Mike O.
Square up.
You better get me good, because if I'm standing, you're in trouble.
hell yeah.
I'm joking.
Yes. Planet Fitness, everyone. We're live at the Planet Fitness studios. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It is the best gym. I was just there a couple hours ago. I'm usually there most days, as a matter of fact. Right over there in Troy. West Maple Road.
Shout out.
Pull up. Shout out.
12 and Van Dyke.
Hey, Dominic's my guy. 12 and Van Dyke, too. I've been through there a couple
Shout out.
times. Shout out East Side. PlanetFitness.com. You can join there. Pull in the parking lot. You're going to pass a couple on the way home because there's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. They're making the way towards 3,000 of them in the world as well. It's consistent. They're all kind of laid out the same. Tons of weights, tons of cardio equipment. Whatever you're on, you can be on it at Planet Fitness. And guys, I don't know what else to tell you. Some of you are paying too much for your gym membership. Flat out. If you're paying $60, $70, $80, $90 a month for your gym membership, why? The weights weigh the same at Planet Fitness. You can weigh them yourself, but trust me, they all weigh the same. Planet Fitness, everybody. The best gym in America. I don't know what else to tell you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Neil Rule here for Dr. Jeff Pierce, our injury insider. He's on every Tuesday with us on Big D Energy, every Thursday with Ermanni and Edwards. We're discussing sports injury breaking news. We're also discussing your day-to-day lives. He's talked to myself. He's talked to Spencer on air about things that we could do. And if you're a weekend warrior like we are, or if you work out, all that kind of stuff, you probably got that nagging soreness or whatever, Dr. Pierce can help you out. He helped Darren McCarty get back to the NHL. I think he can help you through a weekend of workout. So, I'm just being real here. Scan the QR code on the screen. You can give him a call. As always, Dr. Pierce. His visit's powered by Amon-Ra of Southfield and Michigan Sports and Spine Center. All right, final segment of the Nickel Package. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, Sports Media Nickel Package. You ready to go, Spenny?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's cook through it.
All right, first question of the Sports Media Nickel Package. Can we stop dicking around and just move the Super Bowl to Saturday already?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What do you want from me? I'm with you.
An explanation.
No, I don't have
Why
one.
is the Super Bowl not Saturday?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Give me your best guess.
Tradition. I honestly,
like the Big Ten, huh?
Right, it doesn't make sense. See,
like UCLA at Oregon.
That? Why do you?
Why do I do what?
No, because it takes. I have people telling me that the Big Ten is in the forefront of change in college football.
Look out.
Like, there are legitimately people in this town that have said that to me, and I'm like, it took you 18 years to get a conference championship game. Shut the bleep up. Neil, I don't have an answer to that. It should be Super Bowl Saturday. Period. End of story. Own the entire day. Do it like the draft. Have your pregame stuff start Friday. Continue it into Saturday. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Chase, what do you got? Microphone, Chase.
Yeah, if they end up expanding it to an 18-game season, which have been talked about recently, then I believe that lines up the calendar with President's Day on that Monday. So you'd have the Monday off following the Super Bowl baked in.
Who can forget the importance
NFL.
of President's Day, man? It really, that's...
The NFL, man. They always got it figured out. They always got it figured out. Second down.
Next question of the Sports Business Nickel Package. Can Big Ten teams won a combined $46 million for the conference? Does Penn State's road to the semifinals make more sense to you now?
I tried to tell you guys this all the time. I tried to tell you this. The Big Ten had their fingerprints all over the bracket. They just did. You have Penn State. You place them in the semifinals, which is what they did. And that's why Oregon played Ohio State, because no matter what, somebody was going on. I'll keep telling you guys about it. You can choose to believe it. You can call me a hater, do whatever you want. But, Sean, it's real.
You can check the tape. I said Michigan wasn't going to make it, and I missed the team with the eye. I thought it was going to be Iowa. This was set up. Penn State had a road that was taking them to the playoffs. Congratulations once they got there. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to...
They were placed in the semifinals.
Right, they were. They were placed in the semifinals. I'm not going to detract. I thought that it was going to be Iowa instead of Indiana.
I still believe in Indiana.
But there were paths that were there. We talked about it back in April. Those were paths. And I think now, Neil, this is where the tweaks come in. We can talk about tweaking this, tweaking that, maybe making the teams with bye play at home. You have to take a good, hard, long look at out-of-conference schedule now. You have to.
No, you don't. No,
okay,
you don't.
No, if you're the committee, you have to. You have to
Sean,
if you're the committee. You have
there
to
isn't
if
a
you're
committee.
The committee.
There's not a committee.
Yeah, there is.
This is what this was made for.
Okay,
To
but-
extract the most amount of money for the conference that you can.
What it wasn't made for and what they're going to correct is Indiana doing the run that they did.
They'll just replace it with another Big Ten team.
And it'll be a blue blood. More often than not, it'll be a blue blood. It'll be somebody that because that way then they can make the argument that, well, you have to remember, instead of playing Indiana State, they had Wake Forest on there, or whatever the case may be. I think that's where you and I are barking up the right tree, but coming from different directions.
Yeah.
That will be the tweak. Mark my words. That'll be the tweak.
All right, second down.
All right, second down, second question, or third down, sorry, third question of the Sports Business Nickel Package. Speaking of college football playoff, TV ratings for the championship game were down 12% from last year. I was told Notre Dame has the most fans. Was I lied to?
Man, you sound like me.
Michigan's the biggest brand in maybe sports.
You sound like me.
Yeah, I know. Weird.
What was the number? 21 million? Was it 21 million?
Somewhere
overall?
around there. It was down 12% from last
Yeah,
year.
it still was insane. College football is still number 2. I don't care what anybody says. You can argue it all you want. College football is number 2. But Notre Dame is not the brand that they were. There's no doubt about that.
And that bears it out. That was the point of the question. I'm sure that Spenny was driving at.
Listen, and you see what hat I'm wearing? And Lord knows Neil and Spenny are in the Michigan Haters Club.
I hate Michigan.
sells. Michigan sells.
Yep.
Like them, hate them. It's inconsequential. You're lying to yourself if you can't say Michigan doesn't sell.
All right, real quick. Copacetic Sushi. Big D Energy always goes into overtime when it is a drinking Friday. That is correct. All right, next down.
It's kind of
Next
a true
down.
story, isn't it?
Fans of the Utah Hockey Club should have been called the Soakers. Selected the name Yetis for their franchise. The problem is Yeti is trademarked by companies that make coolers and drink cups. I know what name they should go with. Absolutely. They should be the Soakers. It's perfect.
Like, no one thought of that.
Why
this
not?
is this is what blows my mind,
Why
right?
not?
Like the Utah people.
First thing that came into my mind.
Yeah.
It's damn Mormons.
I'm not talking about soakers. I'm talking about Yetis. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no one thought about that. Like, hey, the Yeti. Oh, damn. You mean that's trademarked? Yeah. Your drink is probably sitting in a product that was made by Yeti.
Yeah.
That sounded kind of dumb to me.
It's amazing.
It's what people that run things, dude. I'll never understand it. Third down.
All right, final question of the
Final
Sports
question.
Business Nickel Package. Netflix reported record earnings and record subscribers. Their sports programming was spurred the growth. What do you think of sports on Netflix?
It's interesting. I was reading about that, and Netflix said that they're going to continue their sports model. We want events, not seasons. And Netflix is ahead of everybody on that curve. Because as sports fans, what do we care about? Events, not seasons. Props to Netflix, man.
And part of it is the NFL wins. It just does. And I know props to LeBron James and props to all the NBA guys out there. If you think you're going to compete with the NFL, you already lost. Like that Christmas Day. I know Christmas Day has been your day. And NBA fans will still go there. But if you think you're going to compete with the National Football League, you already lost. You just don't know it yet. I think anybody with common sense in their brain already knows that, though.
No doubt. You back in Monday?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, pal.
I'm going to watch football this Sunday. I'm
We
going to
are.
be brave. I'm going to be a brave little boy and face my fears.
No, we absolutely are. What if the Bills lose?
I'll be so pissed off. I need Josh Allen. I need you.
America needs.
But
America
you know,
needs
okay,
you.
deep, you guys know.
They're
You
gonna
guys know
lose.
Kansas City's going to win.
Yeah,
right?
no, Kansas City's gonna win. Sean, let me live. Sorry.
All right, God bless you all. Keep hope
For
alive.
Sean
though.
Valesian, for Chase, for
Keep
Spencer
hope
Raster, I'm
alive.
Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.